I'm a bad mood, gotta keep it tight. Hold my baby squid, keep him out of sight. Talking about my life, government stay away. If you drive, I'ma do it my own way. Squid in the ocean, swimming all alone. Ain't nobody telling me where to go. Living free, gotta stay true to myself. No need for interference from anyone else. Squid pro quo, that's the way to be. Living on my terms, setting myself free. I'm out to my baby, protecting with my no government intrusion. I control my life.
Hey everyone, how are you this afternoon? Welcome back to my weekly Hump Day Hangout, my adult interaction time with people I met on the internet while baby squid's asleep. Hey Island, hey JKD Buck, how's the weather by you? I've heard there's some severe storms all across the country. If you're in the path of any of those, do me a favor and stay safe. Oh, I can't imagine. Right now, it's just hot. This is probably the last week that I can do anything with this because it is more humid outside than a men's locker room on game day. It is gross. It's that Florida, you take a shower on Monday and you don't dry off till Friday mentality. It's gross. Oh. Well, that's nice. Hopefully y'all stay safe. It's just hot. Hot, hot, hot. This is where I really miss living up north. Hey, Tammy. How are you doing this afternoon? All right, so today's show, I have a few things that I want to talk about. First thing, my my internet is full. I got to move myself and try. Set StreamYard. My internet is awful today. Xfinity supposedly raised my speeds, but apparently it backfired because I've been having internet problems all day. It says it's a strong connection, but then all of a sudden it's not. And I have so much to talk about today, man. It's going to be, I don't know if fire, but my troll of the week is this guy that was in Megan's chat, or girl, don't know, don't care, named Wreck. Well, Wreck, you can get wrecked because your whole point was that in the Laura Owens, Clayton Echard, come at me, bro, case that Planned Parenthood Mission Viejo did do ultrasounds in-house. Technicality, whether they order an ultrasound and send you out or do it in-house are two different things, and it's a play on words. So one, quick twist in people's words. And secondly, Planned Parenthood Mission Viejo signed an affidavit that says they have never heard and have no medical records for Laura Owens. So regardless of your technicality or not technicality, it don't matter because she lied. Oh, I need a soundboard so bad. Megan's she lied button, perfect. So whatever you were spamming the chat with, try it again because I'll block you this time. I love it. I love it. Yes, trolls have been extra active lately. Psychos tend to bring out more psychos. But what I really kind of want to talk about today is two things. If you don't, I would love it, but y'all already helped me raise this money for a mic and a camera. So y'all have done enough for me. I love it. However, so I don't know if you follow the Justice for Clayton Twitter page. If you don't, you should. Seriously? Like, okay, I'm all for free speech, but that's a line that you don't cross. Like, there's just lines that you don't cross, and that's one of them. Like, I don't know why I'm shocked, because people are stupid these days. Like, people are just out of control. So the Justice for Clayton YouTube or Twitter page, I will drop her link. I need 2 monitors, but due to the fact that I just got one and I'm trying to figure out how to use it effectively, 2 would be overwhelming for me. So let me drop her link. I highly suggest giving her a follow, because something interesting was posted on there yesterday, and I saw it when I was looking at Megan's Twitter. Let's see here. Let me share my screen. I'm sort of getting better at this, but StreamYard Studio. Oh, and I had to restart and reload everything on my computer these days. So it's not allowing me to share. And now I have to, I'm using Firefox instead of Chrome, because Chrome managed to put some adware on my computer that I'm not happy with. And I spent 3 hours roughly on Sunday night trying to get it fixed. So let's see if I can actually share my screen. Well, and it's not going to let me share my, just a tab, which is, thanks, Island. This right here is the truest statement in 2024, especially on the internet, where people think there are no consequences because you're anonymous. Anonymity aside, karma will always catch up to you in one way or another. All right, so this is my first stream on Firefox, and I'm not a fan. There's things you can do on Chrome in StreamYard that you can't do in Firefox, and I don't like it. Present. It's so I'm gonna have to do this the weird way. So you're gonna see me twice. Woo! And it's not letting me do it. That is weird. Oh, I don't like that at all. Well, we're going to have to do this the hard way. On Seeking Justice for Clayton's Twitter page, she has the forensic report from Michael Maricini's computer. And it's 4 pages long, but apparently there is a He hasn't touched the computer since 2016. The date on the clock read 3/9/2017, when the actual date was 5/4/2024. All text message, here, the findings. All text messages, associated attachments from to Laura Owens were tagged and produced in a standard Cellbrite inspector report. The report was produced a single 2,489-page PDF document. I don't know if that document is ever going to be available, but I don't know who has time to go through it. But he says, I have examined the file structure and continuity of the text message streams and associated attachments found on this computer. I find no evidence of tampering or alterations that would question the authenticity of the messages included in my report. So basically, she lied again, and there's forensic proof. Oh, God, this makes me so happy. I am so tired of there being no consequences for women who lie, especially in court when it comes to parental rights, sexual abuse. Yep, I said it, but I'm not monetized, so it's whatever. Domestic abuse, all of that. I'm so tired of people lying. Story time with Squid. I have a good friend that I've known for 12, 13 years. Married this girl that I told him, I warned him, she's not good for you. She's kind of crazy. I've been told she was crazy by some people who knew her ex-boyfriend. Didn't believe me. Well, if he did believe me, he didn't listen to me. Always listen to Mama Squid. Always. They have 2 beautiful children. He finds out she's cheating, long story short, in the middle of a divorce. So what does she do? Because she doesn't want him to have 50-50 custody of the kids, she files a police report and tries to get a restraining order for domestic violence. I was there when he found out about this. Like, and his way home from work had to pass right by her place of employment, which was pretty large. It's not like a small office building, to get to the highway to go home. Her mom saw his truck and called the cops on him because he was driving home from work and just so happens to pass by that place. Not only did she lie about that to try to get full custody of their children, she called the school to tell them that he is not allowed to pick up his children because of many reasons that are not YouTube appropriate. And I do have permission from him to tell this story. I did ask. But in the police report, she lied about what he looked like. She even said, and this is what he told me this morning, which I had no idea about, that there was a bullet in the back of his head that they couldn't get out. Like, what? Like, what? What? Like, are you serious? Like, I have never been so upset for somebody else in my entire life. Like, good thing I live in a different state from this woman. Otherwise, her and I would be having words face to face, because you don't do that to my friend. And I know from personal experience that this person is not violent. I and his ex-wife that was previous to me knowing him both wrote letters to the court like, this is crazy. So this leads me to my ultimate topic of the day, that in cases like this, why aren't psych evals mandatory? His lawyer asked for a psych eval. The court didn't push it because of the fact that it was so obvious that she lied. But why, in situations like this, aren't psych evals mandatory. And it's not like a personal like vendetta, like we're giving you a psych eval, we think you're crazy. It's not that. With all the mental health issues in this country and the crazy allegations in certain cases, such as this one, such as Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, automatically you should get a psych eval so that the court knows what's going on in your head. If it turns out you're fine, great. We're more likely to believe you. If it turns out that you have some psych issues that need to be addressed, it's going to make you less credible. But in all cases, somebody brought this up in Megan's chat last week, and it was like so true. Because with my friend, the first thing I did was ask for a his lawyer to ask for a psych eval. Because I didn't understand why people were believing her BS when there's no evidence. Like, I don't understand. This is true. That's the very good point. And they're reluctant to do it from what I've read. I spent a day at least trying to Google this. Why don't courts, what does it take to get a court ordered psych eval? People are reluctant to do it because if there's a history of a psychotic disorder, whether it be depression or bipolar or whatever, you're less likely to be believed. To me, that just means you need to rely more on evidence. And I was always taught, keep receipts. If something happens, keep receipts. Because you can get the metadata from texts. You can manipulate them, but you can also get the metadata, and metadata don't lie. But the only common thing I could find with all the articles, research articles, and just news articles is they don't want to have someone question someone's credibility based on a potential mental health issue. But if you have certain disorders, you're more likely to lie. And I'm not a psychologist, so this is not advice. This is not me diagnosing anybody. But I have taken enough psych classes in college and had enough experience dealing with different people in different populations, from the military to working at an airport to working at a hospital. I've met many different people from many different walks of life, some just like mine and some completely different. Everybody lies and everybody's got something going on. But in order to accurately get a good outcome and the truth, you need to know. And money, I can see that being an issue, but the sad part is we waste enough money and taxpayer money on stupid crap that this is something that I wouldn't mind wasting money on, because to me it's not a waste. And it takes extra time. But in a case like this, mandatory psych evals for both parties, not just the one that we think is crazy or that we've seen evidence that she's crazy. Email me, Laura. I dare you. Let me know how that goes for you. It's both parties. Clayton, any accuser that comes, or any victim that comes forward, everybody involved. Just to know where we're starting. That's the thing. Everything can be abused. That's the hard part about all this, is because anything can be abused. But at the same time, Laura Owens is abusing the system right now. So what's the difference between what she's doing and what somebody would be abusing the system and doing? Two things can be true at the same time. Like, that's a phrase I live by. Yes, it can be abused, but what government program isn't abused, and the court system is abused by people. We see it in the news every day. My sister is a psych nurse. She says it's like microdosing your own insanity. She sees things that'll destroy most people, i.e., 9 year. Oh, no. That makes me sad. And I hope for her sake that she has somebody to talk to. Because when you deal with everybody else's insanity in your profession, it wears off. Like it affects you. And there's no way it doesn't affect you. Like, I've talked to my therapist about multiple patients that I had that affected my mental health, dealing with them and their issues. Like, I had to, talk to people about things that I've seen. Or speaking of mental health issues, guess who had an art therapy eval yesterday? This girl. That is true, but for many years and many different cases and many different people, she's always called the shots, which is sad and pathetic. But she's used whatever. I don't know if this woman is has a superpower to like manipulate people, but I don't know how she does it. But yeah. Ugh. So I had an art therapy eval yesterday. Oh, that's true. She's never been told no. But I feel like a lot of people who have never been told no, somewhere along the line, learn that life is tough and you're not always going to get told yes by everybody. Not everybody's going to bend over backwards to help you. Life sucks and life's not fair. And I have friends that their parents coddled them. I wish my parents would have coddled me, but side note. Oh, so many stories with that one. But I have friends that were coddled, and when they graduated high school and were out into the real world and were told no, they had a hard time dealing with it. But eventually, they figured out that sometimes people tell you no. And guess what? It has nothing to do with your personality, your looks, your gender. Sometimes you just get told no. I was an insurance agent when I first moved down here. You know how many times people told me no when I'd walk into a business and talk to them? What's the worst thing people can do is tell you no. Then you just move on with your day. But how she made it to 32? Wait, 30, 34. She'll be 34 in a week. Yes, May 14th is her birthday. We're going to have a little birthday party for the crazy lady. I told Megan on her locals that we all need to have a birthday party for Jane Doe, Laura Owens. Once again, I don't mind saying her name. People don't. She can come at me. I'm not monetized. She can do whatever she wants. Like, yeah, that's the sad part. Like, I know people my age who live with their parents, but it's more like their parents now live with them due to health issues or monetary issues. They sold their house and they moved in with their kids because their kids have a bigger house. But she still acts like a teenager. Like, she still acts like a teenager. How? Like, I bet she doesn't even do her own laundry. Let's see. When is the 14th? I know is it next Thursday? Let's see. Next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, we could do a Laura Owens birthday party. I'd be down for that. I'll buy a cake and some streamers. Oh, here we go. Baby girl is up. Oh. Ugh. Next week, Tuesday, I will do a live stream around this same time celebrating Laura Owen's birthday party. I'll get her a card. We'll just have a good old time. We'll have drinks, just celebrating the crazy. And hopefully I can get StreamYard to actually share my screen. I might have to use Chrome again, and I don't want to because I spent 3 hours fixing my computer. I am like the technology curse. Like whatever happens to Megan Fox and her technology issues has somehow like I took over because I went into work yesterday and their computer didn't work. So I had to reset their computer and reload things, and I'm like, this is just crap. My phone didn't work yesterday. The internet, I'm having issues with the internet today. I just can't figure out why. What's happening? Hey, she actually is a big girl and rolled over, and hopefully she'll go back to sleep. It's crazy. So I am a technology curse this week. I don't know. Like, even today, the internet's a problem. My TV didn't want to work. I had to unplug things, my backup power supply. Like, I need some, like, oh, speaking of holy water. So my house is old. I rent it. It's from the 60s. It's kind of dated. I don't believe in like I believe in people have positive or negative energy and you reap what you sow kind of thing. But I'm not a huge believer in ghosts. Like you got to see it to believe it kind of thing. Like to see it. So I'm laying on the couch Monday night. The Hubs and the little one are asleep. And I'm about ready to, fall asleep, getting ready to go to bed. I thought I saw something run across the floor. So my first thought is, okay, it's hot outside now. We have bugs. I live in the South. We have bugs. We have reptiles. I have crickets the size of my hand in my backyard. Something got in my house. So I turn on the light. All the lights made it look like it was 2:00 in the afternoon in my house. I can't find a thing, but I can hear something. We have a cube shelf that our TV sits on, but in those cubes, I have all of Baby Squid's toys. I kind of have the Montessori approach where it's like one shelf, one topic. I have a language basket for her. I have her blocks in one basket. Well, she has this wood stacker toy that on top has a ball. Well, she threw it down and it fell in the back of the cube the other day, and I'm in the process of like, I got bigger fish to fry than picking up one little toy. She'll be fine. She knows where it is. When she wants it, she'll play with it. All of a sudden, her toys start moving. Like this ball starts rocking back and forth. There is nothing there. I cannot find any living thing in this house with me, but I can hear something behind the TV. There is nothing there. No bugs, nothing in the walls. Like it was not in the wall. It was across the floor. Like I can't figure this out. It's not a mouse. I looked. And that's the one thing. We have so many feral cats around here that mice don't really show up anywhere. Like I've seen one mouse. I've seen more snakes than I do mice. And there's no snake either. I looked. But like last night, I told Mr. Squid because he doesn't believe in the paranormal. Like he is a very like, if he doesn't believe it, like, even like religion, like I'm religious. He's like, I believe Jesus was a person, a real person, but I don't know about, all the rest of it. I'm like, that's fair. But last night, I hear stuff under my kitchen counter. So I am opening up drawers. There is nothing, no bugs, nothing. Like I can't figure this out. 2 nights in a row in different areas of the house. I just can't. I don't know what's going on. Ooh. Hey, Tammy. Both Tammys are here. I love it. love it. Oh yeah. Then there's this. So everybody that knows, ooh, see, I haven't seen any shadows. But when we first moved in, I'm a very like positive energy, negative, like I believe in things. I'm not sure I believe in ghosts, but I believe people are followed around by, you know, different energies. It's kind of hard to describe what I think, but I saged when I first moved here. I think I need to sage again. Like, did you have any conversations? I have not. I did I did before I went to bed, said, whatever's here, you're not welcome. Because I figured it was an animal. We have a skink that lives in our little storage room off our carport that I stepped on last year. So I'm pretty sure this thing's not happy with me. It's about a foot long. And I figured when I was bringing in the groceries one day, things climb in the house. I know how it works. I've flies, bees, things just come in our house. But like, I can't find anything to explain this. I've tried. I've even turned on the fan and was like, okay, the fan was on. Let's turn it on high to see if it moves anything. I can't figure it out. I went through all of her stuff, every bin, to see if something didn't crook. I was expecting to find a snake. Couldn't find anything. And this is one of those situations that the only person who's experienced it is me, which is freaking me out even more because it's like I feel crazy. But I did tell when I was going to bed last night, I was like, whatever's here, you ain't welcome. Like, so hopefully tonight, like, I've never been hoping to find a snake in my house so much as I was on Monday night. I was truly hoping. And see, during the day, nothing happens. So if something was here, it would be here all the time. So my stepdad, when I was really little, well, I was like 10, he told me and my stepsister that there would be snakes in the toilet. I was 10. I'm 38. I still check the toilet for snakes every time I go to the bathroom. When I was at my other house, before I moved into this one, I found everybody's favorite cicada was in my air vent. I was sitting on the toilet. I looked up. Don't know why I looked up. Don't know. There was a cicada in my air vent. It was like 2:00 in the morning. Like, what do you do? I freaked out. I was home alone. I went and got the bug spray and tried. So there was lines on my ceiling from bug spray because, yeah, I don't do bugs. I don't do bugs. Like, I don't even do spiders. Spiders I'm okay with though because I'm bigger than they are, and they don't really jump. They just crawl. Whereas like the crickets, they jump. What do you mean, speaking of mental evaluations? Are you telling me I need a psych eval? Trust me, I've had plenty. I get VA disability for depression and anxiety. So, like, yeah. I had a mental eval yesterday. I had not a psych eval, but an art therapy eval. And I drew it's hard to see because I used colored pencil, but I drew, and I am not an artist by any means, but she told me to draw a person picking an apple out of a tree. Apparently, this describes my whole psych situation. She was telling me things about myself that I was like, you can tell that from a drawing. And I was going to show you guys the screenshot, like an article I found about this test and what it can show you. But like, she told me that a bigger canopy can indicate some unresolved issues. The level of detail that you the bark can tell you things. Whether the person that you draw has a face, hands, or feet can tell you. I never thought I would get so much out of a drawing, and I am. But starting June 5th, guess who has once a week art therapy? So every Wednesday morning, I will have art therapy, and I will give you all the report on how it went. She is going to send me an art kit. I have no idea what I'm going to do. I am not artistic by any means. That's why I like my computer, because it draws for me. AI, it draws for me. I don't have to worry about it. So this is going to be a follow me on my journey of art therapy and discovering my inner self. The goal is to reduce my anxiety so that I don't have to take medication anymore, because I'm sick of taking medications. I've taken medications for my Chiari, for pain, for depression, for anxiety. I am sick of medications. So we're trying some alternative therapy. Like, how do you flunk a personality test? Yeah, I'm not a fan of StreamYard on Firefox. Note to self, I will have to suck it up and use Chrome. And then run a virus scan right after I use Chrome. If you use a chainsaw to pick apple out of a tree in the longer sessions, I bet. But the one thing my therapist did tell me, I was doing so well, I didn't need therapy for like 6 months. And then, my mother-in-law happened. And apparently that situation has given me a bit of PTSD and some serious paranoia. I didn't know I could get PTSD from a person that's never actually done anything to me. Hoy. Here you are, you're artistic, you'll see. I like to just, more of an abstract drawer. I will scribble. I like to write, but not a, I'm more of an arts and crafts, copy paste, Laura Owens type artist, if you will, where I can manipulate digital things, but actually taking pen to paper or crayon to paper, and not really my cup of tea. But hey, we'll see what happens. I've seen art therapy. When I was a student at the VA in Milwaukee, and they have an art therapy program and an inpatient one that was, it was outpatient, but they stayed there, and it was for substance abuse recovery, and it was great. But that was my only experience with art therapy, was substance abuse. And they were doing big projects. They were doing like woodworking and pottery and big giant things that I would never be able to do in my house. Like, I'm an hour-ish from the nearest VA, so I can't go there on a weekly basis and do this. So we're doing it virtually, which is going to make it interesting, to say the least. But, that's the one good thing that came out of the pandemic, was things went virtual, because I can't drive an hour. I can't take baby Squid to all my appointments. And because now that we don't speak to my mother-in-law, I don't have a babysitter during the day. She used to have her 2 days a week. I was able to get things done. I was able to schedule appointments on those days, so I didn't have to drag her along. Now I am trying to make sure that places I go, I can bring her. And I don't think bringing her to art therapy would be appropriate. So luckily we can do it virtually. I can sit here, do what I need to do in front of the computer. She can sit at the table and with her colored pencils, and we can do art together. So that'll be the goal. We'll see how it works out. Myers-Briggs and whatever Darth Vader is. Yeah. See, I don't see myself as artistic. Like, I really don't. Like, interior design and like colors and stuff like that. Yeah, but actually like my ability to draw and like I have pottery from that I made in art class in 3rd grade that would probably be better than I am now. So, that is true. That's very true. Art can be anything. But in art therapy, because I'm either doing it in a group. Nope, we're still here. I don't know how long I'm going to be here. It's all dependent on this girl right here and how long she stays asleep. And if you can kind of see, I still have laundry from Monday that needs to be folded. So, Flux! Flux, but you are an artist. I consider you an artist. I've seen your paintings. They are amazing. Like, they are amazing. And yeah. You didn't miss it. You didn't miss it. So, in regards to treating veterans, even the veterans who didn't see any combat still saw stuff, still talked about stuff, still knew people who did stuff, and yeah. I can see you don't have to see combat to have some psych issues from the military. The military itself is a walking psych issue, but that's a whole nother topic of conversation that Flux and Val would have just as much, if not more, insight than I would. So the only thing I can paint is use spray paint, and right now I'm rehabbing my free weights. So I'm spraying my free, and I painted at the gym. Like I paint, I rehab the weights. I painted them all. That was my little art project. I painted the pull-up bars to, give it some texture and make sure that it didn't get rusty. But painting like a picture, I don't even think I could paint a tree right now. Like, I love this chat. You guys are so awesome. So a couple people and I were talking about doing dramatic readings of Reddit streams, because Reddit is once again reared their ugly heads of drama, and these people must have no lives. Like, do you have any lives off the internet? Because you get so upset about the dumbest things. And I'm sorry, Reddit, but you cannot gatekeep public information. Nice try. Do you have a problem with me? Bring it. I would love to be in a Reddit troll thread. I would love it. But yes. Well, thanks for coming. I've had some computer issues this week, so I'm using Firefox instead of Chrome, and I don't like it because I can't share my screen. Ugh. Like I've adopted Megan Fox's computer issues with the internet. Now my internet's fine. You have such a good point. I'm convinced, especially when I see people posting all the time in like different Discords, Twitter, Reddit, and I see the same person in everybody's live stream all the time, all day long, from the time I get up in the morning to the time I go to bed. You're always in the chat. Do you have any sort of time offline? Like, it's fine to pop in the chat, say, hey, I'm listening, but I'm working. But I see people constantly in every social media, and I'm like, do you not have a life outside of the internet? Your toes are bleeding. Like, well, yes, but that's the difference. You're there, but you're working. Like, these people don't seem to work. Like, not even on their own, like, channels. I am not talking about you. I am not talking about you. Because you're in chats, but you also do stuff. You don't just troll chats all day long and troll Discord and, like, yeah, Tammy, I'm on YouTube a lot. I don't watch regular TV except for college football, the Green Bay Packers when they're on nationwide TV, and baseball. Other than that, I don't do real TV. Like, I record a couple of shows that I watch occasionally on, like, Travel Channel, and I'll go through and I'll binge watch the season that I recorded. But other than that, it's YouTube. And it's not even like YouTube where I'm in people's live chats. It's history. There's this channel that I watch called History Underground. World War II, like, aficionado, goes through artifacts, goes to different locations, brings veterans back to the battlefield. An amazing channel. But, like, other things, like, I'm a history, like, geek. I'm a space geek. Like, I will watch documentaries on this stuff just because. Like, that's true. And everybody, there's been a couple of people who, like, why don't you stream more? Why don't you post more videos? One, I'm learning. Two, I do have a life outside of YouTube, and I don't want this to affect that. Three, I don't want to get burned out. If I try to do too much, I will get burned out and I won't do anything. And because people helped me out that don't even know me, helped me out to afford this, I don't feel obligated, but I like to let you know you didn't waste your money on me. But I also don't want to get burned out. So I figured one live a week, a couple of shorts, maybe a video if I feel ever so inclined. But I'm still learning how to talk to a camera without anybody here, basically talking to myself. And yes, the chats, you guys are great. But it's when I'm recording a video, I'm having to talk to myself, and you can see my technology skills are there, but not really there. So I'm learning, and I've had people that donated to me unsubscribe and tell me they've unsubscribed because I don't post enough. I'm like, I'm sorry, I have 65. Like, I am not Lawn Lumber, who all of a sudden went from 0 to 100,000 subscribers in a week, where, okay, you have to post stuff because you have, like, I love you guys, but I'm going to make sure that I have a work-life balance. And I appreciate that. Thank you. Like, I had someone when I was first they kept messaging me saying, have you started yet? Why haven't you posted anything? And I'm like, I'm working on it. Like, I'm trying to figure out what is the best camera to use? Like, what's the best what's the best recording software? Because StreamYard, you can record in StreamYard, but it sucks. Well, yeah, that's true. But for a while, he was on everybody's streams, and, you know, during Maya, he did a nightly, like, he put out plenty of content, but, like, he also has a specific niche of what content he's going to post. He's a lawyer. He can talk about the law. I can talk about things that I see in the law that don't make sense to me as a layperson, but I don't have. Oh yeah, I've had 3 people unsubscribe, and one of them told me they unsubscribed and why they unsubscribed. And I'm like, you know what? I would love to have enough subscribers to be monetized. And, I would probably post more if I was monetized because there would be more of an incentive for me. However, like, I got to learn somehow. I've never been a YouTuber. I still don't consider myself a YouTuber. Like, but, slowly but surely, when I get on a topic and I get passionate about it, then I'll post. Because like today, and that psych eval has been driving me nuts. When someone brought that up, I think it was Celestial Force that brought that up. And I was like, that's a really good point. Why aren't psych evals done? And then I talked to my friend who I specifically asked for the psych eval in his case. I was like, ask your lawyer to ask for a psych eval, because I'm not trying to diagnose her, but there is enough. I've seen enough to know that there is something not right. And you have 2 children with her, and her children or your children are going to be with her at least 50% of the time. And I would really appreciate if, for their safety, you knew what was going on. Oh, yes. Sometimes, like last night, I was in Mo's and I was driving. So I was using talk to text. And like sometimes it would come out like, I did not say that. Like, where did you get this word from what I said? Like, so I'm like, it's a 40-minute drive home from work, my mom's house, work, Walmart, to my house. I live in a rinky-dink little town. We have one grocery store. I don't shop there because it's expensive. That supply and demand. They have the only supply in town, so they can demand whatever price they want to charge. So it's when I'm driving, I get bored. So that's when I watch a lot of YouTube too. But I'll talk to my phone like y'all can hear me. And that's when I'll like hit the talk to text button and I'll just input what I have to say. And I can't not let people know my opinion, whether they like it or not. Like, that's just, I'm a very stubborn person like that. And you always know how I feel about a topic. You might not always agree with me, and that's okay. Because if you agree with everybody on every topic, you're brainwashed or you're lying to yourself. Yeah. So when Mo last night was talking about Panera and their supercharged lemonades, I was stopped at a red light, and Panera was across the street on the right side of the road. So I was literally looking at the Panera sign as she was talking about it. And I used to study in that Panera when I was getting my insurance license and when I was getting my corrective exercise certificate. I used to go there because on Starbucks, it's quiet. The Starbucks here, they finally built another one. I wish. I mean, if you're going to have a stalker, you might as well have a cool one. Just saying. I remember that. I wasn't texting and driving. If I did touch the screen at all, it was when I was parked at a red light. And the only thing that can happen to me there is somebody hitting me from behind. And speaking of that, when I went to pick up baby squid last night from my mom's house after work, I saw the person who rear-ended me. He lives 500 feet from my mother. And he was outside last night. So when I parked my car, I parked it where he could see the trunk of my car and remember exactly what he did. And I looked at him and waved. He hauled butt inside. I don't think that he understood why I was there, because I was there to pick up my daughter, but he doesn't know that. So he thinks that I just showed up at his house because his address was on the police report. So it's not like it was, a secret. But yeah, I don't think there's anybody who lives close to me. There's a bunch of people, the expert, Tug, Volstorm, and a few others that all live in Tennessee, but they're like 5 hours from me. But nobody, I think Shizzy's the closest person to me in Atlanta, but that's still like 3 hours, 4 hours away, depending on traffic. Like, I think I'm the only person in this area. I didn't realize they were less than $1, but Panera, I always liked their broccoli cheese soup in the bread bowl, carb overload, and an Asiago cheese bagel. Now, but now a bagel's like $4, a little over $4, and now I think they're charging for cream cheese now these days too, whereas before it used to be included. Damn inflation. Sometimes that's not a bad thing though, because like it's nice to people to not know where you live. Like, I just say that I live in between Savannah and Augusta, and near what's that? That case that was in South Carolina, the backwoods of South Carolina, Alex Murdaugh. Like, I live closer to there than anywhere else. Which is, I missed part of a conversation somewhere. DC is ew. I was in Norfolk, Virginia when I was in the military, and the closer you are to Washington, the more uptight people get. I am in the low country. Yep. That's this area. The only thing good about this area is a low country boil. It's like a crawfish boil, but actually good. You know. All right, y'all. I have to get going. I have things to do before Mr. Squid gets home, but I appreciate everybody showing up today. I love y'all, and hopefully next week I will not have technology issues, but I am going to go on Tuesday, and we're going to have a birthday party for Laura Owens. That should be a blast. I'll get streamers, and we'll just have a good old time. Showing documents and proving she lied. You know. I have laundry that I did on Monday night that is still sitting right here. Some of it is folded, some of it is not. It's my goal to get that done today, and I have to leave here at about 3 o'clock. So I have an hour to fold 2 loads of laundry. I need to do more, but it's too hot outside right now. It's almost 90 degrees. So, yes, if I could redirect people, I would redirect people to Baker's, because Karen Reed is crazy. I can't keep up. I've been too busy. But, like, someone needs to do a TLDR every day. And if I had time to watch the whole trial, I would. He is covering the Karen Reed trial. Long story short, who hasn't heard of Karen Reed? But it sounds like it's a complete, like, fabrication. Like, this is where the anti-cop people need to be like, this is what we're talking about. This is what we're talking about. People might actually listen to you if you bring up there's a lot of corruption, and people who knew people that own this house, and it's just a I'll have to look at, I've been so busy lately. I started working 3 days a week. So between baby squid, trying to keep up with all this house, working more, trying to do things on the internet, start my own channel, figure things out, keep up with Laura Owen. There's just way too much to keep up with. Way too much. I don't know how people do it. There is not enough hours in the day. It's a shit show. There. Oh, yeah. And then there's this. Because I have all this elbow pain from holding baby squid all the time, I have been getting scraped. And there's 2 athletic trainers at my work. And they scraped my arm last night. So I woke up with that. Yeah. I don't know what hurts worse, my elbow pain from holding her or getting scraped and dealing with some massive bruising the next day. But anyway, have a good day, y'all. I'll see you later. I'll hopefully see you on the next stream. Have a good one. Bye.